The FMCSA states that cargo must be firmly immobilized or secured on or within a vehicle by structures of adequate strength, dunnage or dunnage bags, shoring bars, tie-downs, or a combination of these. Dunnage, by the way, is a material that fills the space between cargo and the vehicle or between articles of cargo to prevent shifting and damage. You have to keep cargo in place by using chocks, wedges, a cradle, or other types of restraint devices for items that are likely to roll when the vehicle's moving. Also, you can position items in direct contact with each other, or you can prevent them from moving toward each other by using traverse tie-downs. These are ones that run from wall to wall across more than one item. I know I said before that you don't need to do a lot of math, and that's still true, but listen to this. You definitely still need to consider the aggregate working load limit, or WWL, when determining how many tie-downs to use. The aggregate working load limit is the sum of the working load limit of all tie-downs that are being used. In most situations, this has to total at least 1/2 of the weight of the cargo item that's being secured, the exception being when tie-downs pass through, over, or around an item and attach at anchor points on the same side of the vehicle. So how do you figure out the WWL of the tie-downs? Well, look, in most cases, the manufacturer labels the tie-down. For unmarked tie-downs, FMCSA provides tables that you can use as a guide. The regulations also include minimum requirements for the number of tie-downs that are needed to secure your cargo. When tie-downs are used alone to prevent forward movement, you have to consider the length and weight of the item. You're going to need one tie-down for items weighing 1,100 pounds or less that are 5 feet long or less, and also now 2 tie-downs for articles either weighing over 1,100 pounds or measuring over 5 feet and under 10 feet long. You got that? For example, let's say you have a 7-foot cargo item and it weighs 1,000 pounds. How many tie-downs do you need? You're going to need 2 tie-downs. Even though it meets the weight requirement for 1 tie-down, it's over the length limit and therefore is going to require 2. Make sense? Any pieces of cargo that are over 10 feet long require additional tie-downs. 2 for the first 10 feet and 1 for every 10 feet or fraction that follow. For instance, let's say you have a 22-foot item. It's going to need the initial 2 tie-downs plus 2 more, 1 for the next 10 feet and another for the remaining 2 feet. If you're using a header board, bulkhead, or other modes to prevent forward movement, you'll only need 1 tie-down for that first 10 feet, assuming all the other numbers are the same. Now look, tie-down rules are going to be different for special purpose vehicles that are transporting cargo with distinct securement needs due to size, design, shape, or weight. For instance, let's say machinery, structural items like pre-constructed beams, crane booms, girders, and trusses. They're going to need more than usual to meet performance and WWL requirements. Regardless of what you use as tie-down and attachment devices, they need to be adjustable by the driver when on the road. Finally, there are regs for front-end structures used for securement. They have to extend either 4 feet above the floor or be tall enough to block forward movement of any cargo. They also need to be at least as wide as the vehicle or wide enough to block forward movement. They should be able to withstand the weight of an evenly distributed cargo, so let's say half the cargo's weight when the structure is under 6 feet high and extends 4 feet above the floor, and 4/10 of the weight if the structure is 6 feet or more. And finally, they should be able to resist penetration by any item that makes contact when the vehicle decelerates at the average safe speed and be free of openings that allow an article to pass through. Hey, now you know the general rules, so let's take a look now at some requirements for specific commodities.